Hey, Tim Squires here, and sitting outside and just enjoying myself today. It's kind of an overcast day, but at least it's not raining finally. Um, just had a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Just kind of rambling on, I suppose. I've been thinking about my purpose in life, and thought maybe I'd talk to you about it, about your purpose in life, and in from kind of a maybe a different perspective than you would ever think of before. Just to say, for taking an example, you went down to the store and you purchased a new device or an object that does different things, and you wanted to know the purpose of that object. You would look on the box, you turn it around and look at the description and see what it does, see what it says about it, and that would give you the idea of its purpose. Um, well, let me ask you, who would know the most about we'll call it a widget. You want to buy a widget and you wanted to know the purpose of this widget. Inside the widget box that it came in, there may be a manual that will tell you something about it. And maybe the manual is like, I don't know, have you ever bought something that says made in China, Japan, or some other country, and it just doesn't make sense because the language is different? Have you ever done that? I have. The grammar is bad, something's wrong, it just doesn't translate into English too well. And so you wonder, what is this widget supposed to do? Probably with anything that has been made, purchased, or devised, the best authority to know its purpose or what it was intended for would be to go to the manufacturer or the person who actually designed it, the designer, person who designed the widget to do whatever it was supposed to do. You might not be able to go visit this designer in person to find out what the widget is doing, but you know that that person, if you could find him, would be the best authority on what the widget is supposed to do. What was in that designer's mind, the engineer who put it together? What was in his mind? Why did he make this widget? What was it created for? What was in his head to accomplish? And I just wanted to associate that with you and me, and our purpose in life. I remember reading something from C.S. Lewis, who said that the most obvious thing about atheists of why that they're wrong is the fact that you are able to think about why there's purpose in life. If you were able to comprehend and have a discussion about your life's purpose, then you know if the atheist was right, we shouldn't even be having that kind of a conversation. And so you know that if you're here, you have a purpose. If you can think, if you can speak, if you can communicate, you have to have a purpose because, you know, take a look at, there are evolutionists who say that we came from monkeys, and just thought I'd mention this. Have you noticed any monkeys out there building hospitals, roads, cars? You notice any monkeys out there developing software? Now, we have to exclude Washington, D.C., okay, so we won't go there, but just think about it. You have been created by a higher power, have to be. I mean, you can think. So you had to be created by a higher power. I remember, now just as a little pattern interrupt, but I remember this one man who has since passed away, but when I was a young man, not married very long, I met this man and had a relationship with him and his family. My wife and I and our family had a relationship with his family, and this man wasn't really very educated. I think he went as far as the 8th grade and had some challenges in his family, so he had to go to work because of the way this society was back in those days where he was. And I remember him asking me one day, he said, Tim, I've got this big burning question. I was watching TV on this thing on evolution, and they were saying that we came from monkeys, but I couldn't help but think about this. If man evolved from a monkey, evolution from a monkey, why are there still monkeys? You know, it's like 8th grade education. This guy's more profound than a lot of the university professors you got out there. I mean, if there's a such thing as evolution, wasn't there supposed to be like a link? And they didn't make it. What happened? Because it's not true, of course, is the answer to that. So anyway, going back to the idea of you having a purpose and knowing what your purpose here is. And if you had, going back to the idea of the widget and going back to the person who created the widget, the only way to find out why you're here is to go to the person who created you, to the one, the creator. Now, the best, the one thing about religion is a search for God, whatever they call God. No matter what religion you're in, they're always searching for God. And that's what religion is. Religion is a search for God. But you can find him outside of religion. Religion will take you down these different rabbit trails, but you can go straight to him. It's possible. And that's how you find out your purpose. Is you get into this thing where you want to find him, and you go search for him, and he's right there wanting you to find him. I was laying in bed last night thinking about this, and sometimes when I'm going to sleep at night, I have these, I have this time, to think, because I'm not asleep yet. I know I need to be, but I'm not. And I'm thinking about God and about why I'm here and my purpose, and in my own secret little place, I can talk to him and ask him questions, and that's the only way you're ever going to find out why you're here. So that's my thought for today. How to find your purpose in life is to go to the person who created you. Go to the one that created you. Now, because he created you, and he's the one that made you, that makes him your father. He created you, so he's father. And not like any other father. I mean, you have these earthly fathers, but your creator father is much different. And he's not the judgmental person that religion makes him out to be. He's not the one that's just waiting for you to trip up and to break their rules that they make up. God is wanting you to communicate with him, and he did everything he could to erase any kind of barriers that's between you and him. So you owe it to yourself. Honestly, you owe it to yourself to connect with him, your creator. And that's what I encourage you to do. If you're wandering around wondering, what in the world am I on earth? What on earth am I here for? Connect with the one who made you. And he's the only one who can answer that question for you. And that's your call to action today. Make it a lifelong. Don't make it lifelong. It'll take a long time to do it, but make it a pursuit of yours. Pursue him, and he will respond. Hey, this is Tim Squires. Taking a few minutes off from my day to talk to you. Click the links down below. Connect with me. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm on Twitter, Facebook. I've got email. Hey, you can find me almost anywhere. Have an awesome day. Make it great. And let's change a mindset of a generation together. What do you say? Thanks. Bye.